back. Apologies for the technical difficulties on our end. So, as the man coughs and regains his composure, he looks to you, Serena, and says, I'm afraid according to your own rules, my death, caused by your hands, would go against the Code of Milan, as you've instructed to Mr. Larry, Mr. Jack, and Master Jasper.
Serena turns to Jasper.
I check number 4 aura.
You
what?
check.
Yeah, I check if he just got embraced. Perception and empathy?
Yes.
Yep. Pelese?
He's a ghoul.
Serena walks over. Serena looks to Jasper. Jasper, confirms that you guys... Confirm to me. Was your ghoul test subject dying and did you not call me over because I wish to embrace him for my research?
Yes, that's exactly what
Right.
happened.
So would he have died unless I would have fed him my blood and this impudent mortal who thinks to tell
would
a
have been
pack
it.
priest how to do
would have-
things?
It would have been a waste, but yes. Perhaps.
So is he mine?
Yes, he is yours if you want. I have gathered enough information that I wanted. to
Right, but
seek
and then
forward with the next step.
Then Serena looks over. Now
Okay.
she's feeling currently
Well,
a lot of
as you say this, Jasper, basically anyone who looks at the ghoul, he looks at Jasper like he's just been betrayed.
Been there, did that. Been there, did that. I assume I can see the color.
Hmm?
right.
I assume I can see the color of his aura.
Yeah, he's completely shattered, basically, emotionally.
Serena looks to Jasper. Tie him up. We have other things to deal with. I cannot be in this elevated emotional state and make sure his mouth is silent. His mouth is tied. I cannot be in this elevated emotional state when I make my decision about what is his destiny now. But needless to say, that I have no need of retainers, especially mortal ones, who show no proper piety to beings above them, and dare to quote the Code of Milan, which belongs to Cainites. And actually, at that moment, Serena makes a decision. She walks over to the ghoul, and she simply pushes her hand through his neck, and, so to say, like ripping all of the tissue all the way to the bone, melting her hand and opening the blood. Let's just say I have no need for embracing somebody like this.
As you do this pulling motion, there is a splatter of blood that stains the kitchen island and a good chunk of the floor, followed by very, very abundant spurts of blood. And as he falls to the ground, clutching at his neck,
That is a real person right now.
he basically reaches out to Jasper, and with a shaking hand, just goes limp.
I feel really bad as a real person right now.
Yeah.
But Serena just looks at it, and she feels her annoyance, like fade away, so to say, and like as in like at the whole situation, because this and embracing somebody like that who is fully bound to Jasper, somebody who dares talk back at the pack priest and who's not been taught, and with his like advanced cognitive abilities, they're just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. I don't think he would make a really good Malkavian. Jack says that, like tilting his head and looking at the subject 4.
Us Malkavians.
Jasper
Us
walks
Malkavian.
forward and gets close to touch subject 4 before he's about to say something, but instead of saying it, he thinks for a moment and says, "Oh, that's quite a shame. I wanted to see what would happen to him if he wasn't raised."
We could test that out, but I could provide a suitable candidate. Malkavians have usually a good intuition, despite whatever cognitive abilities they have, whether they're, average, smart, intellectual. All of that is worth nothing if you don't know, if you don't feel when to hold your tongue and when to say something. He clearly lacked that.
Know when
For a
to hold up,
Malkavian,
know when to fold up.
not really. It's more like you have to be guided by. And Serena closes her eyes. By the, I don't know, collective subconscious, I guess? The cobweb. Like, even before being embraced, it's like. Usually, we're not really all that normal. Not all of our decisions are purely dictated by logic. And certainly, those more apt at feeling that can very well survive into the ages, even against the odds. He did not have that. But if you want to, later when we have time, I can just bring you somebody more suitable. And you can repeat that. Maybe this time, knowing more about how the brain operates, you'll be able to make it better. Learn something more.
Perhaps. Maybe increase their digestive system efficiency. Also, so they can absorb more nutrients, perhaps, would help.
Maybe also try
Without. By the way, do your other test subjects, did they also reject food?
The other test subjects, well, one died, or at least is in some sort of coma. The others had increased reaction, noticeable with eye and some twitches. But the only successful one, once again, was him.
Fed him blood, he would have died.
In the midst of all of this, Larry, how do you feel about this guy just getting his throat ripped off in the situation he did?
Well, not an uncommon situation to be put in by, the pack of this kind, but I guess Larry didn't feel anything about this guy. Like,
roll conscience,
on general
please.
human level. No. On general human level, he feels sorry, but he didn't, get to know him at all.
Yeah.
Still kind of feel like this would earn a conscience roll. I'll let the scene play out, and depending on the actions, I'll decide by the end. Carry on.
Anyhow,
Larry just stays silent somewhere further away from the occurrence.
anyhow, he's dead now.
It looks like I need a new test subject.
Oh, I was
Maybe I
was
should
muted.
do this with some shovel heads, perhaps. See if the process is more successful.
Of course, experiment.
You know what
Uh,
might also thwarted it? River Styx, which is really fucking hard to get rid of in blood.
But his embraces are normal.
His ghouls aren't, I guess.
Well, it's a topic of experiment. Either way, I think our next agenda should be the Nosferatu clan.
Yep.
You've
What can we-
you've received a contact from Taffington, or
Did I?
or
Not yet.
was he meant to set up a meeting for you?
Taffington put the word out.
Mm.
That's what
I guess Gary will call us on his own,
All right then.
like a real Nosferatu.
Right, now then, we're gonna be meeting Dorothea in a cafe in downtown, which means that Jasper and Larry are not too suitable for a cafe visit. By the way,
And-
Jasper, I've had an idea. Have you got any race in your service?
I do have a wraith
Mm.
working for me.
Okay, tell me, somebody was well, from my experience of having aspects, it's, hit and miss whether I see the wraith, and even then, I guess it's when they're not in the Shadowlands, right? But
Mhm.
when they're would your race would they be able to, perhaps keep an eye on Therese's coming and goings from the Shadowlands?
Do you have picture and location that he can go to?
Well, there's one place that Therese always returns to act as Jeanette, and it is the Elysium Club in Santa Monica.
Girl, I'll
She
be
has
right
an
back.
office on the second floor, and so what do you know about Therese? Have we filled you in at all?
Not really. Only that they appear to be someone important? Question.
Right, so a short recap. Within LA, there are two sisters, Jeanette and Therese, Malkavians. One of them Anna, the other one Camarilla. And recently, the lore has been that Jeanette killed her sister and dealt Strauss a very severe blow. Point is, as far as I'm concerned, nobody in the Camarilla or the Anarchs knows that Therese and Jeanette are a Malkavian that has a split personality, and they share the same body. She wanted to make a deal with us, with our pack, asked Therese, because she knew that we were aware of her, I guess. But she wanted to make a deal with us to upend Strauss. And this deal could bring us a lot of. And we get Santa Monica. And honestly, that suits us. But we do not know whether the two sisters, the two sides of the same coin, are working with each other, what's their end goal, and who else is hanging about. So it would be really good if we managed to get eyes on Therese, eyes that she wouldn't be able to perceive. And I'm thinking
can-
that's exactly your specialty.
I think I can do just that.
Good.
You need it over the next few nights or immediately?
I've messaged her that I'd like a meeting next week. So the sooner you can set that up and get it going, the better. So that
well.
by the time we go to meet her, first of all, we won't walk into a trap by Talmahara, Jeanette, Therese, the Anarch, Strauss, or whatever else, and that we know better what exactly she wants. Then Serena looks to Larry. Larry,
Yes.
to be setting up soon a meeting with a Nosferatu, but I'm interested in another thing. How are your gargoyle friends doing? Are you still on good terms?
Well, I would say so.
Okay.
Sniff,
Mm.
sniff.
Miguel,
I'm not
sniff.
lying, you motherfucker.
Okay.
Essentially, you see no signs of lies. So at least Larry believes what he's saying.
Okay.
So because we're starting, so here's another thing. We will be needing, Olivia will be needing an elder premier to complete the project. And I'm thinking that Strauss, well, any of them would do, but I think someone like Strauss would be most fitted, especially if, especially considering everything. So I think perhaps it is time to give your gargoyles the scapegoat for the offense, so to say.
And that would be...
And
Maximilian the Bold Head Strauss.
no, Jack. No, we give them the fledgling. I'm sure between me and Olivia, we perhaps can, beef the embrace up enough for, the proposed look that we're claiming they have. A mad Malkavian who also learned vicissitudes or whatever else. But I will be finding someone suitable. Either way, we can always make even as a scapegoat. But I think it would be good for us to deal with that so that you bring them a scapegoat and you can also then hint to them that we are starting to make active moves to end Strauss's life. So, perhaps they would be more willing to share information, if not directly aid us. After all, it is in their benefit as well. What do you think?
You see a hint of doubt cross Larry's face as he looks somewhere in the distance.
Share with me what makes you doubt this plan.
Well, you see, I was implying to the gargoyles that the killer could be of local area,
Mm-hmm.
specifically a Nosferatu of some sort.
Mm.
Hmm.
But did you share with them? But you know how you figured out that it was vicissitude, right?
Yes, I did share that with them indeed, but this could be, you know, covered since the clan specific disciplines are not, how to say, obligatory.
Well, yes, but
So-
it is. But vicissitude is also very.
Hard to come by.
Yes, it's very preciously guarded.
I know. So,
Like, look, you could have been wrong, right? And either way, how to say, I'm not sure if setting the gargoyles against the Nosferatu right now, given that we want to clear your name, would be,
Wise.
yeah.
I don't think gargoyles need any more reasons to hate Rouse or other Tremere, so I wouldn't go on
I
to
guess.
change my
Wait, but
fairy
you
tale
said
to
right now,
something
you
else.
said right now that you implicated Nosferatu. How are the Tremere now? Or did you mean
Well-
Tremere?
No, I said that I implied the Nosferatu, but I'm saying that there is no reason to. Oh, you were talking. Okay. Yeah, I lost my thought there for a moment.
Yes, so the point is the gargoyle that was killed by Olivia, right? So they were looking for a scapegoat. You said that you needed to provide a scapegoat to make amends, right? Because you were implicated and the pack was implicated, right?
Yes.
So there are only two clans that could potentially have done what, vicissitude did. Like, it's either the Demeter or it's Tremere. Now, it's going to be really difficult to implicate Tremere and prove it. But it is possible to provide a scapegoat, a rampaging, semi-white, how to say, a white embrace, right? Because once somebody hits a white, they wouldn't be able anymore to use vicissitude, so to say, right? Nor a lot of other things. So whether they had that power or not won't be really known. What I mean is that if we provide you a scapegoat to point towards, right, then you'll be able to, so to say, make amends and then hint to them that we're starting to move against Strauss. They might be willing after that to at least provide us information, if not aid us in dealing with him,
Yeah, I see what you're implying there.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, they don't need an additional reason to hate the Tremere. And us working against the Tremere is a benefit to them either way. But for tonight, Larry, would you feel comfortable providing aerial surveillance over the place where we're meeting in downtown? Or is that too dangerous given, Strauss and whatever other gargoyles he has still under control?
I would love to join the meeting, if you
Well-
wouldn't mind.
Well, I would also love you to join the meeting, but if that cafe is going to have mortals,
Which is probably
That's
gonna
true.
happen.
that's why I need
We
Jasper.
can call him over
Like, look,
on the
if
phone.
once we, yeah, but over the phone, don't forget, a phone can be recorded. Look, once we make contact with the receiver and achieve our ends, it is very well possible to meet already on more neutral ground, somewhere where I could have the advantage, like that park of prehistoric trees. Nobody would be able to approach that place without me knowing about it. But first we need to meet
Even
her.
just in neutral territory where nobody gets advantage.
Neutral territory?
Big advantage.
No, that park is neutral territory.
Yes.
So yes, the point is
We can
Tonight-
kindly ask her.
tonight we're meeting, and unless that cafe is going to be entirely empty of people and anyone,
In half a mile radius.
only then would you be able to join. But if it's gonna have mortals, then, well, it's going to be really difficult. Of course, you could, I don't know, observe from the sewers, I guess. Keep us posted whether there's any other Cainites around or listening in or hidden. But I suppose you could do
Yes, I
that
would
also from the
prefer that.
ceiling. You could also do that from like the rooftop of that building. It
Do
just
we
might.
got the address?
Yes, we do.
Yep.
And Serena looks to the phone and tells him the address.
Yeah, I will
And
look
says-
it up on Google Maps. Just read to you. How does it look?
Yep. The area has pretty decently low buildings for an area in downtown. It seems to be sort of a more commercial area, just off the more business area. So while in the business districts you mainly have skyscrapers and like really tall buildings, here the tallest buildings have about 4 to 5 floors. Most of them have an average of 2 to 3.
Imagine some aspects can beat.
Right. Another thing, what to say, what I have. So, currently, as far as I've spent the last week scouting Santa Monica, right? This new power I've learned from the witch is turning to be out quite useful. I've basically am able to travel underground, and every single tree in the area is, you know, every single tree, plant, potted plant in the area serves as my eyes. So I did that, and currently, whatever they have, it's like their numbers are grown due to sin bloods. There's a lot of sin bloods. And I'm thinking, actually, now that I think about it, could be connected to Isaac, but I'm gonna need to do a bit more research. But Isaac has been going cloud through them, and I've had reports that he's also trying to get that position. And we all know he's
Our
not in
Isaac or their
our Isaac. Our
Okay.
Isaac. And we all know he's not in exactly the best mindset
Mm-hmm.
for that. Oh, Jasper. By the way, when your race spies on Therese / Jeanette, whatever, like whoever is in control of the body at that moment. Have him pay attention to, other vampires she's communicating with, because apparently there's rumors that Jeanette has other, Camarilla vampires under her belt. So we should know whether that's true or not.
I will let Rafe know.
And Jack,
Yes.
I have a bit of time to fix your appearance up if you want.
Be my guest.
All right. Larry, you can, if you feel it's safe enough, you can maybe scout ahead of us. We'll be leaving as soon as I've changed Jack's appearance a bit. And
Could you throw a card?
For what?
Or if we are walking into a trap?
Well, I don't think so, but sure.
Well,
I assume it is not a trap.
Like I said, it is the big Iris that guided me towards this.
I would feel safer.
Very well. I'll divine for you, Larry, okay? That
Okay.
you'll be safe in whatever.
What is the specific question?
6, 7, 8. Whether like Larry flying there over early and like scouting for us and so on, like
No,
Is-
I was talking about the general gig, the general meeting.
Okay, so whether the meeting is a trap or not, or whether we're gonna be ambushed,
So the question is, are we going to be ambushed?
No, whether this is a trap or not.
Okay. So is this a trap? Got it.
Then Malkav makes the card to look like Admiral Akbar.
He totally would.
Yes. But upside down, just so like it is safe.
Yes.
Big Iris, what can you say?
And it's specifically about the general meeting itself being a trap, correct?
I don't like how much Miguel is asking.
It's
Get that smile
specifically-
off your face.
It's specifically about whether we're going to end up in a trap, not specifically the meeting being.
See, I need a specific question, because you can't, like, go on and on and on and on and on giving me...
Are we walking
generalization.
Are we walking into a trap? See, this is a general question.
Okay. Are we
Okay.
walking into a trap?
You're not walking, you're driving. Mike.
You'd get, essentially, drawing the card, you'd be getting, So, how many successes did you get in the interpretation?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, yeah, that's plenty. So, you draw the Wheel of Fortune. Usually this would raise a few questions, but what you understand about this is whether this is a trap or not depends very much on your actions when showing up.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. If we don't raise any red flags, act foolishly, this is not going to end up in a trap. So, on your best behavior. All right?
Well, good luck to you two.
Very well.
Good luck to you too as well.
And then Serena's going to just spend a bit
Here
of
you go.
time changing Jack to look, you know,
Like somebody else.
Okay.
yes.
Less
Jack.
Jackishly.
Jack, are you currently on
So-
instinct or self-control? Can you remind me?
Self-control.
Okay. So I'll need you to roll me self-control.
Shit, peleze. I don't like those rolls. I fucking hate them.
Yeah, you're fine. So the pain is quite extreme, and you feel like lashing out at Serena while she's doing this, but you manage to kind of contain yourself. It's not a pleasant experience,
Acting
but
on
it's...
emotions.
Yes.
No, acting on emotions.
Citizen looks to Jasper. Probably you know what would be good before you send your race to do the things that I've asked you. Have it be our eyes in the Shadowlands, just so that, you know, our favorite vampire Illuminati are not also interfering too much, okay?
Very
Before
well.
you send him on the mission. Best to cover all our bases.
Very well. I'll be in my room for a little bit, talking to it. I'll be
Yes.
back.
Well, we'll be getting ready and then leaving. It's a drive.
Yeah.
Alright. As all of you get ready, Jasper, you enter the room to call upon your wraith.
Is he somewhere nearby, or do I
As
actually
you
have
would
to summon
instruct
him?
it.
Okay.
I believe he had instructions to watch over the tower build site. So it's up to you if you canceled those orders and told him to hang around.
No, I would have kept him on lookout. I guess I will summon him real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. I won't have you roll. I'll just accept that you do this. You feel the presence, and as you do, you begin to pull at it. And fading almost into existence near you is the shape of the Wraith, who appears, almost manifesting into the Shadowlands, with a bit of a panicked look, looking around. And then he spots you and says, "Oh, it's you. Okay. Yeah?
I needed you to do something else. I need you to, and he will tell the location of where she is,
Mm-hmm.
and he will. Serena did give Jasper a description of how she looks like, right?
I would assume so, yeah.
Okay, so he will give the description of Therese, and then he'll say, "I need you to look out for this one, and tell me what happens." He does have double personality, apparently. And I want you to also be very mindful of who she is talking to.
Okay.
He,
Where is she?
he will once again tell the location of Therese.
Okay, I can check it out.
Stay in the Shadowlands. Do not come out into the Scalands while you're there.
Okay,
They could possibly be able to see you.
okay. When do you need me to report?
We were going there right now, right?
No, Jasper. Right now we're going to meet Dorothea. Basically, what Serena asked you to do is tonight she's going to meet with Jack, Dorothea, and for the race to basically keep an eye out if there's any Talmahara race spying on them in the cafe. And after that's done, to basically follow Therese around for a week, reporting regularly. Follow Therese Jeanette around for a week, before the meeting.
But before that, did you go to this location and he will give the location of authority and make sure that no funny business is happening while we're going there. Do warn me of anything suspicious.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. Anything else?
No. You may go.
Well, I better make my way there now. I'll keep you posted, boss. And he seems to focus, and as he does, you see him begin to walk towards the wall, and he phases through.
Before we leave, I'll knock on Jasper's door. Can I check DMs real quick? Miguel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say you got the size about right. It's not very big.
Yeah. Like, I checked online. Ashes to Diamond is like usually 5 carat max. Yeah, I'll walk to Jasper's room and knock on the door.
Jasper opens the door. And
Jack
says,
will pull like
"What do you think, Jack?"
small stone, like 5-6 mil in size, out of his pocket. By the way, I've got finest, give or take, 0.6 carat of Waylon. If you wanna summon him, I assume that will help his body at the end of the day.
I would.
So yeah, you know what to do if we are busy. That's Serena.
Jasper seems to be, a little bit worried. But he takes and says, "We will do this later when you have the time."
Sure. Just be careful with Waystone.
And he will carefully put it away inside of his room so no one can get it.
Right. And as all of you begin to, ready yourselves for this meeting, we will take a short break. After which we will enter the scene where the meeting with Dorothea happens. See you soon.
See you.
Welcome back. We join the pack as they make their way into downtown. As this is going on, is there any conversation that happens on the way?
Serena's going to tell Jack to drive
Mm-hmm.
and say she's going to put up Cage of Secrets because it's probably going to take about an hour driving.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see them rolls.
Uh-huh. Hey, that's it. Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 successes, and
So you can spread them.
I'm just going to lose basically first level of severity, so Kindred gets visibly started as they only hear unexpected and disturbing noises, and 2 invasions.
Sounds good. So essentially, Jack, as you're driving, Serena seems to. Well, I'll let Serena describe what she does.
Well, Serena basically leans back into the seat, crosses her arms, and closes her eyes, and she tells you in advance, I'm gonna be meditating just to set up some mental defenses, so
Oh, good.
I'll be quiet. I need to meditate. And then she just is very, very still for the hours that they drive.
And in the meantime, Jack and Jasper, do either of you do anything? Besides driving.
If Jasper is driving with us, maybe
Jasper will be with you. He is not driving. I can guarantee that much.
Wait. Serena would be like, Jasper in downtown would be sus. He can't go inside with us. What if police come up to the car?
Okay, I guess I'm staying behind then.
You can go in the trunk.
You can go in the trunk.
Or you can go in the car, and if the police stop them, shuttle ends.
Doesn't he
Okay, so I need a sip of Jack's blood.
More than one sip.
Yep. Do I have some of my Vita frozen, for his consumption, not for the tablet?
You could have some prepared, yeah. I mean, you've been doing experiments, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll give him some. We have to find a better way.
So yeah, I guess Jasper is going on the trunk. He grabs a book to read in the dark of the trunk while he's there going.
Mm-hmm. Well, in that case, there's not much social interaction that's going on. In the meantime, Larry, as you fly through the skies...
If he has a way to go into the Shadowlands, water and everything ready, he can be in a car as well.
That's entirely up to Jasper. If he decides to be in the trunk, he's in the trunk. If he decides to go in one of the seats, he goes in one of the seats.
It just he won't be able to go into the cafe either way. Yeah.
That's fine.
Actually, Jasper will not go in the trunk. He will sit behind in the back seat. And he will also have a bucket with water, just in case.
Why won't Jasper allow Larry to take him there? Why? Like,
That could
I
work
don't see
too.
no reasons.
Yeah,
Why?
entirely up to you.
Larry Airlines is a go.
I
Well,
guess just we'll go with Larry then to make it easier and simpler for everyone.
yeah,
All
me
right,
too.
then.
Had positive experience in previous time.
Then as the four of you make your way there, and you begin to approach, first, Larry and Jasper, where do you land specifically?
This how to say, non-observable location, perhaps a roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somewhere where I could put Jasper for him not to be seen because I'm rather mobile.
All right. Well, you find a rooftop, one of the taller ones, and simply wait there, watching the entrance of the cafe. And you begin to see the car that Serena and Jack are using. Jack, where do you park?
Like maybe a bit away.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough so like we have to take a full dash to the car, but like not like in the front of anything.
All right. And after parking the car, do you make your way directly there?
Yes.
I'll message Dorothea that we are here.
The message goes unseen for now.
Cafe.
Okay.
But before that, Serena basically texts Larry. Situation in the building?
Larry will reply, unknown. You want me to check?
This was in the building of the cafe.
Calm. I can check with powers.
Yes. Can you?
A minute. And I will turn to Jasper.
Seems like I got work to do. Be right back.
And fly to the building.
Mm-hmm. You do your best to stay out of sight while you do so, and you manage to land on top of the building. I'm assuming you use the
power.
Yeah, the power. So expend the willpower it takes to use this.
Yes.
And as you press your hand on the building, you sense the presences there. This is a 2-story building, and there are, give or take, 8 people in the building. There's definitely quite a few downstairs, and there is a couple, just 2 people, upstairs. You can sense they're sitting at the same table together. Downstairs, they're spread all over the place. No.
No basement.
It's no basement. It's just first floor, second floor.
Could I get on all fours and cry into the second floor?
Sure.
I will just look around to
I suppose
see
you don't
if
need to roll for this, right?
Yeah, I just...
And no expenditure of blood or willpower?
No.
Okay. So just roll me a quick dex and stealth, please.
Since Skin of the Chameleon is active, the dice pool increased by 5. Ba, 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 ba. Bam.
Kaboom. Alright. So, you
7.
slowly fuse through the rooftop. And you peek with just one of your eyes through the ceiling of the building. This is one of those buildings that sort of has like an open ceiling where you see all the pipes and such. So watching through the mix of pipes, you can see that the couple on the second floor are quite literally a couple having a late night date. They each have a coffee in front of them, and they seem to be talking, showing each other things on their phones. Seems the woman's drawing a bit, while the guy is mostly talking her ear off.
They both drank their coffee?
They're drinking, yes. One of them's like about half empty, the other one's almost finished.
Okay. Nothing interesting. Then I will get out of there and look for a way to access the sewers, like the closest one, while being rather stealthy, and to poke my eye from the basement, well, like from the basement area into the first floor.
All right. And as you look for a way to go into the sewers, Jasper, are you doing anything?
I guess he will try to contact his wraith again, see if he saw anything.
So looking into the Shadowlands, you spot your wraith essentially walking up and down the street, looking around. You spot a number of essentially wisps, husks of wraiths that once were sentient and now just drift around aimlessly. But no seemingly sentient wraiths or specters drift around this area. And your wraith seems to be quite vigilant, attempting to keep an eye out for these intruders.
Okay.
Serena sends a text after like some time to like the group chat. Right? Can we go in?
Larry, when you go into the sewers, do you fuse through the floor or do you find a sewer entrance?
Through the floor into the sewers.
Okay, in that case, your phone remains outside. So you go into the sewers.
Yeah, I just...
You find the bottom of the building, poke your eye in. I'll use your latest roll because you got enough successes. The cafe is mostly populated by people just, getting their late night, either very short dinner or, if they're working late, they're getting some coffee to keep them up. But it seems to be mostly humans. You spot no one with full drinks and full plates. You spot no one that seems a bit dodgy. No one pale that screams to you vampire immediately. If you wish, you can make a wits and occult roll to see if you can spot if any of them are vampires. But you don't see any.
Aspects help?
Yeah, it applies to a perception roll. so it reduces
I
the
got the
difficulty.
dots, so I can read the auras. Does it like do I
Oh,
have to
so
choose specifically the person, or
that is
can I?
that is a power. You roll it, and you tell
Yeah.
me what you're looking for.
Like, can I generally
So, for example, you
look
can
Yeah,
roll
out
it.
a
at the
crowd
group of
to see
people?
how many vampires there are.
Yeah, so you
Like,
can
like, is
roll,
there any
and
vampire?
yeah, you can roll and say, "I'm looking for vampire auras."
Okay, okay.
And if you
What
get
am
enough
I
successes,
rolling?
read the
Perception,
power.
empathy.
Perception, empathy.
Perception empathy difficulty 8.
Okay, okay. Insightful applies? No. Maybe.
I'll allow it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
look at this. Look at this.
You find no vampires or ghouls. I'll give you that bonus because you got quite a few successes. No vampires or
Oh.
ghouls in the building.
Well, not that I can relay this information in any way, so best of luck to you all.
It's almost as you could have entered by other means.
It's almost as you could have, I don't know, shoot your mouth shut because I am the gargoyle here.
Yeah. As Larry begins to make his way out, Serena and Jack, you are left a bit blank when it comes to Larry's immediate replies.
But does Jasper reply that everything is okay?
It's entirely up to Jasper.
That's why she's asking.
Like, she messaged the whole group.
Yeah.
So
I messaged
Jasper,
the group.
poke, poke. Did we lose him?
No. He just fell silently into the void.
Oh, I think he's trying to speak.
Yep.
Oh, we might have technical difficulties again. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Could you repeat the last part? It kind of cut it out for me. A second.
Basically, the question is, so Serena messaged the entire group, is the coast clear? Can we go in?
Jasper will message. I haven't heard from Larry yet, but it is mostly clear from the Shadowlands perspective.
Anyway, if you, since probably still waiting for a guest, you know how we said that, for example, Dilmont, who was allied with Dalmahara, had the ghosts attached to those he made pacts with. In case somebody like that makes definitely tell us. But I don't think that's the case, given all my visions. Just gonna wait for Larry to reply now.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, Larry makes it out of the sewers and recovers his phone, checks it, and sees the text. Does Larry answer?
Larry does give an answer that there is no vampires or ghouls in the cafe.
Serena relays this to Jack and then says, let's go.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. And as the two of you begin to approach the front of the cafe, Jack, your phone begins to ring.
Mm-hmm. I check it.
Same number that you called to schedule this meeting.
I'll pick it up.
Alright, so it is you.
It is me.
I assume there's just the two of you?
More or less.
Okay. Well, you wanted to meet?
Yes.
Spill it. What do you want to meet about?
Well, we wanted to have a talk. You
I'm going to scan the as a place for astrally projecting people.
Okay.
Those can be detected with all specs,
Mm-hmm.
unlike
I'm aware. So you may roll perception awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And as Auspex allows you to do this, you don't get those bonuses.
Yeah. One success.
Okay. So you check, and as you look around, you see no astral projections right now.
But I'd be checking also like a bit away, not like
Yeah,
just like in the near.
you see none right now. If you
Yes.
wish, you can roll flat intelligence
Mm-hmm.
to get like a hint about this.
Sure.
Okay.
2 successes.
Yeah. So you would know that when using astral projection, one is essentially left in sort of a pseudo torpor. It's almost like your soul leaves your body to go look somewhere else, right? Because of this, if she's talking on the phone with you, she's not astral projecting. Doesn't mean
Yes,
she
correct.
didn't. It just means she's not doing it right now.
Are you in the cafe?
Not right now, but I know both of you are there.
Well,
No, Jax. Let's go. This is not serious.
no, I
Trina
guess.
says.
I need to know what the two of you are here to do. I'm not going to get ambushed for no reason.
Talk.
Here to ambush you.
I've been watching my back for the longest time. I know they're listening to me constantly, so I need to make sure you're not with them. So why did you want to meet?
I'm gonna take. Well. Here's the thing. I wished. Tell me, to your best of knowledge, has Iris Amling killed a single member of her clan in the Camarilla?
I know she's not dead. I didn't hear her die. No one did.
Well, and given that not a single Malkavian aware of her has said a single thing, and the search for her started from other sources. Let's just say, if I wanted to have you killed, I could have found you. So, is that proof enough in the pudding that
So
I'm
you're
here
her.
to stop? I am.
Okay. You took enough of a risk telling me, especially this deep in the territory. Find a seat in the cafe. I'll be there soon.
All right. I'll be waiting. And Serena tells Jack to end the call, and then we go inside. And she basically gets herself and Jack and her guest free drinks, like green tea. And she goes to the second floor where there's, basically has a look around downstairs and then goes to the second floor. Basically checks in, sees that it's less people, and finds a corner there.
All right. The two of you make yourselves comfortable. And from the outside, Larry and Jasper, basically what you see is eventually a motorcycle begins to approach the cafe. It stops quite deliberately double parks in those big parking spots for cars. It basically, this person basically
Like
double parks
two
with a
spots,
bike.
like that's
Yes. Gets out off the bike. Takes the biker helmet off. And the face you see is that of a woman with really heavy bags under her eyes. And she seems to be an older woman, dressed sort of like a biker chick. But again, she's older and has this very drained look on her face, like she's been awake for a few days. She looks around quite thoroughly. You basically lean back to make sure she doesn't see you. And after she looks around for a few moments, she enters the cafe. And Jack and Serena, you basically see this woman going up the stairs. She spots the two of you and takes a chair, begins to quite loudly drag it towards your table. And when the couple looks at her, she looks at them and says, "Perhaps you should leave." And both of them immediately get up, pack their things, and start going down the stairs. The Malkavian then flips a chair with, the back of the chair pointed towards you, and sits leaning on the back of the chair. Right? Why am I here?
You said you were watched.
Constantly.
Feeling you get from those who watch you.
I don't want to talk about this.
Okay,
No.
fine. But you dominate Malkavian, aren't you?
You notice that she starts tapping on the metal frame of the chair with her finger, and her eyes seem to dart between the two of you. Yeah? What about it?
Recently had this strange realization. Have you ever considered it strange that Camarilla claims that they have our main clan, yet after the convention they were left only with Malkavians, none of whom had our clan founder's discipline?
As you say this, she seems to be looking you up and down. And says, "Go on."
I mean, I was like you once, long ago. But isn't it strange? Half of the Malkavians who kept demontation went to the Sabbat. Yet Camarilla claims that they have the main clan. Yet they were left with not a single Malkavian who possessed the traits of our clan founder. How could they have that? And then Iris just shakes her head. But that's a bit here and there. That's just an interesting thought I had today. Which I figured a fellow Malkavian like me would truly appreciate.
As you speak, at some point, you see her kind of startled, looking at you for a moment, and she almost falls out of the chair, and then looks behind her, looks around, and then looks back to you. And just as she gets startled, you feel a slight pressure on the back of your mind immediately dissipate.
Hmm. Did you try to get into my mind right now?
How? How did you? She turns her attention to Jack. How did she do that?
I developed it.
No idea.
Just say it's a mix of our original discipline
Let me
and a
check
few other.
Jack's willpower.
Current is like 5.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Jack, you feel a pressure in the back of your mind when she asks that question. What are your thoughts immediately as she asks how Serena did this?
So she wasn't lying.
Hmm?
So she wasn't lying. No fucking surprise, I guess.
Yeah. As this happens, she looks back to you, Serena, and her eyes seem to dart between the two of you. So, okay, I need some answers right now. I'm done playing coy. You tell me why I'm here, or I bring the tower on this place. Jack,
Right,
she
okay.
is very clearly lying.
Iris was like, well, you could, but I'm also really good at killing them, as you would know. Either way.
Would you pull the tower on yourself? Because from what I heard, they don't really like dementation Malkavians.
I'm not one.
But do I smell the bullshit in the air?
She wouldn't know if she became one.
Well,
It's like puts up. Listen.
Sure. Wait.
Listen.
What we
Jack,
do?
Jack, let
Sorry.
me.
Go ahead.
Family matters after all.
Family matters indeed.
Well, numero uno. I've heard you've taken Teresa's place as Primogen. But also rumors on the streets that... do you know about Teresa and Jeanette?
Mm-hmm. The sisters? Why?
And... have you... Rumors on Santa Monica Street that Jeanette has, like... people...
No.
in her
No,
pockets.
no. We don't talk about Santa Monica right now.
Okay. Well... Say, if I told you that Teresa's not dead.
I know.
Okay. And the Strauss in contact?
He can't know. But I know.
Well, and that... What about that Teresa and Jeanette is the same person?
The tapping stops. And she looks at you. Looks to Jack.
Oh, no. Would you like to that is rude what you're doing here right now. Remember, I told you, I'm really good at killing, but I'm also really good... Wonder what would happen if your brain gets a bit lobotomized and you wouldn't be able to heal it.
I guess it's just one less. What would be the difference? We're dying in flux anyway.
Wait, are you saying that the Malkavians in there died?
I don't know, but I stopped hearing them. Why do you think I'm so paranoid?
Well,
If you
if
want to
you're-
read my mind, let me just tell you that she's not.
Yeah, well...
Why make it harder for yourself?
Listen,
Go on.
I'm
read
not
my aura.
involved with that, but... Did you feel them die?
No, neither did you.
Then,
But
no, I did
I
not.
I know
Which
for a
you know what
fact. I know for a fact that if they didn't die, they
they
sure as
left.
hell ran away from something, and
Yes.
I've been watching out for them. And if they're in Santa Monica,
And
we are fucked.
they're not, well, uh, let's just say, first of all, I will straight up admit to you, we have 2 people on a watch out, but not because of you.
Hmm.
But because of some other people who are always watching.
It's fine.
Do you
We're both being watched anyway.
Well, most of the time I'm watched by...
You've seen it.
Well, whatever I've seen, it certainly means no harm to me, like out of all those things that try to watch me. The one that relates to a big moon and all that stuff. But
It's
You would-
tried to find me. I ran away from it.
oh, it
I
tried
don't
to
know.
find you.
Yeah. It tried to look at me. I didn't want it
Do
to.
you know? Do you know what it was?
She
Shall I-
shakes her head vigorously and seems
Shall
to
I tell you?
be very paranoid looking around.
Don't look around for it. If you're talking about the big eye, then it's all of us. Share it. It is in your blood. It is in the cobwebs that you use. The only way you would escape the big iris, the eye of our founder, is only if you died. Can't escape your blood, can you?
She begins to tap her foot on the floor, and the pacing speeds up as you're talking.
Trina looks to her and says, "You should come down." And she's going to use passion to like her anxiety levels down.
Mm-hmm. I won't have you roll. I'll just
Yeah.
accept the success. As you do that, however, I need to roll something.
What the fuck did he roll?
Snake eyes.
Oof. Oof.
Um,
1d10 out of all things.
So, immediately as you say this, she looks to you, terrified, and then screams at the top of her lungs, runs, and jumps out the window, breaking the glass and running to her bike. Then as she tries to... This is basically what Larry and Jasper see from outside. As people get out to, see what the fuck is happening, as she tries to get on the bike and people start coming out and looking at her, she screams at the top of her lungs again and continues to run in the opposite direction, leaving her bike behind.
I'm going to look in her leaving aura perception.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking for?
Oh, I'm just looking at general patterns, color swirls. So that's one
Absolute
success.
fucking Rotrick. She is terrified of what she just witnessed.
Okay, Serena's gonna get up. We should leave.
Yes.
But I think she might have just gotten dementation.
Mm.
And she quickly texts Jasper and Larry that leaving now. And then thinks, this is so basic. And as she's walking basically with Jack quickly to the car, she's like,
Should we pick her up?
what, her?
Yeah.
Do you want to go deeper into downtown? Oh, wait, did she run in the direction away from downtown, or?
Well, you can still see her running. She's just running down the street that way. She
No,
doesn't
is
run
it-
very
is-
fast.
That way is into Camarilla territory or
away
exit.
from center.
You are not, like, she's not gonna get out or get further into the territory in any significant way in the time it takes her to run, compared to the time it takes you to get to your car and drive towards her.
Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't run that
fine.
fast, and you guys have a car.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Fine. Let's go, Petrox.
Yep. I'll like catch up to her, and if she's calmed down a bit, look in the eye, get in the fucking car.
Let me roll. See if she does calm down. The fuck? So she looks to you, and she begins to slow her pace slightly. I'm starting to think actual Malkav had a hand in these
Yes.
fucking dice rolls.
Yes,
What the
she
fuck?
rolled 2 1s and then 2 10s.
What are the odds? Anyway,
Yes.
she begins to slow her pace, with sort of like bloody tears forming in her eyes.
Get
And
in the car before you get us all killed.
she looks around and then says, "What did you do?"
We're gonna
Technically-
explain. Get in the car.
Yes. You can't have a primogen having a fucking roach wreck. And I would know as a prince who've managed, to be the most fucking tradition-respecting prince ever. So get in the car, and we'll explain.
She gets in the car, and just as she is about to close the door, she first opens it, takes something out of her pocket, piece of paper, rips it in half, and tosses half of it out, and then closes the door.
Sarita looks to her and tells Jack, she basically tells Jack a roundabout way to drive to a park in neutral territory.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Sarita's at the driving wheel, so she's gonna drive. And she tells Jack to tax the neutral territory park area to Jasper and Larry.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as she drives, she looks back to Dorothea and she says, "Well, technically, you've been pretty rude to use aspects on me, so I just wanted to calm you down since you seemed pretty full of anxiety. And normally that would just mean that your anxiety would just go down, and you'd feel calmer for some time, like maybe a night, maybe 2. And then she looks at her. But I'm guessing that your vision of the big eye, of the moon, and me being pulled by the same big iris. Kind of funny that I'm the little one in this scenario, isn't it? I guess our clan founder has wanted you to return to the family and stop being an anti-tribu. At least that's my guess.
I gotta tell the others first.
Not
Sorry, Miguel.
everything,
You're gonna have to
probably.
repeat it because
Oh.
my earphones
fine.
got pulled out.
I gotta tell the others first.
Others who?
The others.
Given the fact that I'm no doubt to end up on a red list, in case
Not
my
about
identity
you.
is
About this.
About what? About
the
He's
entity
real.
remains.
And he's awake. You know what that means?
Gehenna
Yeah?
is upon us, boo-hoo.
Well, don't worry.
No. Gehenna's a myth. If he's real, and if he's awake,
Then what does it
everyone's
mean?
nightmares make sense now.
Nightmares.
Sarita
Visions.
looks to Dorothea. Dorothea, do you think that Iris Amling, who has been very content to spend her life, how to say, useful just enough not to be hassled into too many tasks for Queen Anne, but not useless enough to advance, like cause her ire. Why would she suddenly switch to the side of Sword of Cain?
I don't know, and things are too loud for me to think right now. Can I
Oh.
exit the car?
Go to a quiet place.
She opens the door and just walks out.
We're driving though.
We're probably like already in some.
Well, she's
Yeah,
gonna
we're
open the
driving.
door. If you don't slow down, she'll just jump out.
Like if she moves to it, I'm faster than her, celerity, so I'm just gonna lock it.
Okay.
Dorothea, do you want to know how to manage what you have now? We're going to a neutral territory, and after that you can go home. We can even give you a lift.
I'll go with you, no problem. If
Mhm.
I get to make a phone call first.
To whom?
Okay, go ahead.
Just don't call Strauss, okay?
There is a dialing of numbers, and she brings her phone to her ear.
You gotta be sure that two motherfuckers in the car gonna be eavesdropping.
I'm not gonna have
Yes.
you roll. There's a click, and there's absolute silence on the other end. And she speaks. I'm off with some friends. Why don't you join us? I'll tell you where. And she looks to you, Jack, who I assume is looking back.
Yeah. I'll tell the address where we're going. Like,
Yeah.
just outside of Camarilla territory, some parking
No,
place.
it's a specific prehistoric park in neutral
Okay.
territory.
Sure.
Iris knows it because she's like gone there to.
Is it
divide.
north or like
It's
just-
like
just ping it
it's
so
like
Miguel can
north.
press?
Look, it's somewhere. I don't know where it's on the map. Maybe here. Maybe here. But either way, it's neutral territory.
Let's
But close to
say
downtown.
it's like around here.
They
That's
moved the
fine.
park.
Let's say it's around there. We don't need specifics for this. Story takes precedence.
Yeah.
She repeats the address, and after doing so, she waits for a response. There's absolute silence. No one says anything. And then
Iris is gonna listen to the Mad Cobweb.
nothing there either.
Mm-hmm.
And she then, without saying anything, clicks to end the call.
Right then. By the way, has your cobweb connection become stronger?
I don't know.
Is it louder?
Mm.
It'll get quieter after a bit. Well,
Mm.
you'll get used to zoning out of it.
She definitely seems a bit uncomfortable by the whole situation. Put on edge, to say the least.
Well, as I was saying before, why do you think a person who has always considered that vampires who are immortal, who can seek all kinds of knowledges, advance over the faults of humanity, which are driven by limited resources and all that and their limited age? Why would suddenly that person pick such a proactive job, considering that?
You just
You know what?
opened the floodgates on that.
Because I saw the vision. I've been an
No,
oracle
you
in
don't
North-
understand. We had someone in London, someone who was informed, keeping us keeping us aware. She vanished after the attack, so I'm assuming she's dead.
Was that the lady who was that that Primogen? What was her name? The red-haired artist,
Yeah.
or was that? She was keeping you aware.
In contact.
I don't know what happened to her.
Well, I would assume your people killed her.
When did it
And
happen?
wait, but then Serena looks to Jack, and just like sort of like gestured towards back, in a sense, like with her eyes back to Dorothea, in case Jack is not looking at her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as
He's
Jack-
kind of listening like that guy
okay,
from
and
Pulp
as
Fiction.
soon as Jack listens to her, tell me, are you allied with a group called Stalbahara?
Name doesn't sound too friendly.
Serena looks to. That doesn't answer my question, though. Yes or no?
Yes, it doesn't.
I don't know what that is, so how am I supposed to
You
know if
know,
I'm
there
allied
might
with them?
have been
Wait, Jack. Now that she answered, Serena looks to you.
Deshile?
Well, when she said, "I don't know what that is,"
No lie. I didn't stutter.
Yeah.
okay. Well, that
You didn't
answers
stutter
one.
in your shrug.
Well, that answers one question. Yeah.
You know, there is
She-
a person she might know. Kinda red-headed, dumbfounded. There might be a connection.
Ian,
Ian. I don't know if he
red-headed
is another
Viking-looking guy in a camera.
Diablerist.
name.
Not
Do,
surprising.
do you speak with him on friendly terms or like strictly business?
Oh, he denies it. His aura denies it. Everyone denies it, but we all know. You don't fuck with him, and you don't fuck with his sire, and you don't fuck with his friends, because he'll just take what's yours. All of it.
You know,
Right
his sire.
then. Quark. You mean the Bishop of Sabbat?
No.
Yes, this guy.
Ruark is... It's one of his
No,
allies,
Latin is-
it's not his sire.
Latin.
No, that's his sire.
Oh,
Oh, and
pile
in fact,
another
here's the
lie
thing.
on top of it.
Well, here's the thing. Actually, they're not Sabbat either. That Talmahara thing I told you? A group of vampire Illuminati who wish to feed us all on a platter to the antediluvians that wish to devour us.
I guess a lot of things are coming to light. A bit too much.
I
bit
mean,
too
I
much.
guess. I mean, you should have heard my message to the whole of the clan when I've whistleblown this entire organization. Give or
Or you
take
might
maybe
have
like a couple.
absurd Duffington's sire losing
Jack.
his shit over it. Sorry.
Jack, let me finish. Remember, give or take 2 months ago when
You saw both of those things, yeah.
give or take 2 months ago when there was some drop into the ocean of her cobweb, and then silence.
Yeah, and the local Assombra going batshit.
Yes, that's because we've whistleblown that entire organization. Because they're in the Camarilla, they're in the Anarchs, and they're in the Sabbat, and they wish to feed us all regardless of sect.
They did a good
So-
job at splitting us up then.
Well, the point wasn't about the splitting you up. point was that there are
No,
already
not
people.
splitting us, as in my sect splitting us. All of us.
Yes.
Sorry, I did not
Divide and
understand.
conquer. She means that they did a good job at splitting the entire community into 3 major sects and a couple of minor. Am I right?
Weird that the La Sombra reads me better.
It is what it is. But yes. But
Well, I think now you understand why we're making allies.
Ally is a strong word.
Well,
well,
friends,
you're not with them.
acquaintances, not enemies.
Not enemies is a good word.
Well, tell you what. If you let me out of the car right now, I'll tell you a secret you can use. And I'll even make sure things work in your favor when it comes to it.
How far are we from the park?
I'd say 15, 20 minutes.
Well,
This isn't whom you
why?
wanted to meet, and we're 15 minutes away from destination.
I just called a little bit of insurance.
Well, yeah. We also have insurance.
I know.
As I said, we wanted to talk. So
At the same time, she does need probably things to think about.
true.
And
What
This
did we
is-
give her?
Huh?
Talmahara, main clan of
Kian.
yours, but
Kian's true, sire.
Kian, Ruark. Which is surprising that Kian is keeping his appearances as Ruark's ally in Camarilla.
Yes, but remember, Ruark was also hanging out in New York, in Camarilla,
True.
while being the Archbishop. He's a sneaky little bastard.
It was like 50 years ago, though.
Yeah.
The point is, if you
Oh,
let
we're-
me out
Point
right
is,
now,
we gave you some food for thoughts.
you've given me plenty. But if you let me out right now, I'll give you a secret of my own.
Sharita is going to look back at her and be like, she's gonna stop the car, right? The doors are still locked. But she has, just in case, like on the tip of her tongue, just like ready to, because she did use demonstration earlier, and whatever like instead happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has a feeling that her curse on the mind, like curse of like that other thing, is still gonna like take effect, even though it didn't work out the way it is. It's like her like feeling. Going to stop the car and unlock and just look back. Go ahead.
You know Therese is alive?
Well, yes, we're planning to meet her too.
She's not planning to meet you. Definitely.
Would find that out sooner or later, either way.
Yeah, what you probably wouldn't find out is that she's orchestrated a few political power grabs. And the reason I'm Primogen right now is because she needed someone loyal to her in that position.
Right, would you like... Okay. Well then, would you like to be free from that?
I don't need
I don't
to.
like... Well,
Unbeknownst to
technically.
her, I'm not as loyal as she thinks.
Oh,
And she doesn't need to
let
know
me-
that.
Well, she
She
doesn't need to
won't.
know that. She won't. As you've seen, that little trick when you tried to read my mind, that is something I personally developed.
A lot of good it did when I could read the mind of the person next to you.
Well, don't worry, we're planning to fix that issue too.
See that you do. Once
Will.
all of this takes place, the ideal outcome for Therese isn't just for her to become prince. It's for someone else to become prince.
Good thing she's going to have a few tails.
Another perceived Malkavian.
I once had to deal with somebody like that.
Perceived.
Yeah. A Nagaraja. She pretended to be my sheriff.
Name?
Well, Anahita, the sheriff of the three counties. She pretended to be a Malkavian, and I wasn't that capable of using Malkavian time back then. I was younger and a bit more naive, but in the Sabbat she pretended to be a caitiff, but she was a Nagaraja, and one of the many foot soldiers that Almahara has.
Well, apparently, this time, it's more that this Malkavian is more of a Ventrue.
Is it Kian's child? Hmm.
How
Cute.
sweet.
I wanted to
sweet.
capture her anyway, since
I
I
can
do
get
that.
her in your hands if you want.
Oh,
Oh, that would be excellent, because...
that would be really brilliant.
And Iris does a very bloodthirsty smirk. Kian does have a blood debt owed to me. For
And
the
if
murder
that
of those.
happens, you leave me and my interests alone.
We still can be pen pals, right?
Depends.
We're not meaning you harm, as long as you don't mean us.
You've yet to show me that. Let's show each other some respect. Yes?
Siri presses the button to release Dorothea and says, I'll be waiting. I'll be... whenever you're ready to deliver Kian's wayward child. I have an ocean of heart pain to deliver upon that man.
And as La Sombra, it's my professional duty to ventral bowl.
Allow me to give
Either
you
way.
this bit of extra advice before I leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 3 so far. Then it'll be 4, and then 5, and it'll continue going that way. And before you know it, each one of us is going to have to deal with their own problems, their own way. I got a feeling the next one.
Amalia dropped.
That's fine.
Probably computer is empty. Like
That's
battery.
fine. I have a feeling the next one is going to be yours.
Pete, I got a feeling next my laptop died.
That's fine. I'll repeat. She says, I got a feeling the next one will be yours. Looking to Jack. And then she basically looks a bit, towards the infinite, before stepping out of the car.
Okay.
I have a feeling she meant some really, really, really old vampires. Then
Larry and Jasper, as you, well, as Larry flies through the air, carrying Jasper like a sack of potatoes, both of you see the car slowly come to a stop, and after a few moments, the Malkavian walks out.
Dorina texts the guys that we're heading back now and catch up when we get back.
Okay.
All right. And as you begin making your way back, we'll end the session for tonight. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week.
see ya.
Bye bye.